I recently purchased the Razer Basilisk V3 X Hyperspeed for $44.99. How, you might be asking? Its MSRP is $69.99. I bought it renewed on Amazon, and they just seem to have an infinite supply of these refurbished. It is also on sale on Amazon for $59.99 at the time of making this video. So today I'm going to review it and basically tell you whether I think it is a good purchase at each of these price points. Now, starting with a quick overview of the mouse before comparing it to other mice. It is a right-handed ergonomic mouse like the other Basilisk in the Razer lineup, and it also has a sniper button, which the Basilisks are just known for. And it is fairly large, so it best supports a palm grip or a fingertip grip with medium to large hands. It, like all the other Basilisks in lineup, is also surprisingly heavy. Weighing in at 100 grams on my scale, it is much heavier than any of the other mice in this price point, including, namely, the Viper, which theoretically should be the same mouse, but no sniper button and ambidextrous. So I'm not sure where all the extra weight comes from on these Basilisk mice. So if you want something lighter that's also Razer, then maybe the Viper is best for you. But there are two stark differences between this mouse and basically any other mouse within the Basilisk lineup. One, the price, and two, the reason for the price. It, for one, doesn't have a rechargeable battery. It actually has a door on the back, revealing a AA battery and a housing for your wireless receiver. But before you click away, there are some major advantages to this setup. One, battery degradation. Battery degradation is a major consideration in the longevity of a device. I don't gotta worry about that anymore. Unless they stop making AA batteries, that is. Two, battery hot swapping. I get some rechargeable batteries, I use one till it's dead, hot swap it, charge the old one, rinse and repeat, forever. I never have to charge my mouse using a wire ever again. Now, to get a little bit more specific, I'd like to start by comparing it to its previous generation, the Basilisk X Hyperspeed. It's got a few major differences, namely one, the first thing you'll notice, no RGB. This generation, thankfully, has RGB, you can change the brightness. I like to keep it at a 10 to save battery life and static. But it's got a few other settings. You can have spectrum cycling, you can have reactive, so that it reacts to your clicks. You can have breathing, so just it breathes between one or two colors or a random color. And you have an audio meter to make it react to some sick beats. The second major difference is the previous generation didn't have a sniper button, which Razer likes to call Hypershift. How Hypershift works is you'll click it and then do some other combination of buttons with it. By default, you can do print screen with it, scroll left, scroll right, and mute. Now, it has one other function which I find quite funny, the boss key. Basically, if your boss walks in, you click it and it'll flip to whatever you set it to flip to, so it looks like you're productive without ever hitting any keyboard keys. Another thing I really like is the Profiles tab, which allows me to have specific configurations which launch when certain apps are in use. Now, if anything I said so far is a deal breaker, you might want to consider, say, the V3 Pro. But at an MSRP of $159, of course it's better. Do you really want to spend that much on a mouse? I don't. An actual fair comparison is the previous generation Razer Basilisk Ultimate. You can snag that for $89 on Amazon right now, or could get it used, or buy it for its MSRP of $149, but I'd never do that. Thankfully though, it seems to go on sale at a fairly regular basis. In any case, it's got some major differences. One, the RGB looks different and it has more RGB. Namely, it has its scroll wheel, instead of being semi-transparent, it's completely black in the center, which some people might think looks better. Additionally, this wheel is just a 24 notched wheel, while the Ultimate and the Pro both have free scrolling also, as well as being able to flick it left and right and binding that to things. Well, whatever that thing is called, I don't know. Additionally, the Ultimate has optical switches instead of mechanical switches, and 11 buttons instead of 7. So you'll have switches that could not last as long if you pick up the Hyperspeed. But there is one big deal breaker with the Ultimate. It was the previous generation, so it did not have Bluetooth support, while this mouse does. I can flick the button to the left to set it to 2.4 GHz receiver, and all the way to the right to switch instantly to Bluetooth on the same device or a different device. Now, due to the price point and the Bluetooth support and the hot swappable battery, this was the mouse for me if I wanted the Razer. And it is definitely the Razer Basilisk mouse that I would recommend if you're someone who doesn't care for any of the Ultimate features. But Razer isn't the only mouse company. So I went and I searched through and looked at some other mice that were similar in some way. Similar MSRP, similar to the price I actually bought it at, or similar features, all wireless. Now to start with, we have the Roccat Bust Pro Air with an MSRP of $69.99, identical to the Razer Basilisk V3 X Hyperspeed MSRP. Now there are definitely some major differences between these mice, namely, it's ambidextrous instead of right-handed only. It doesn't have a sniper button, which is kind of annoying, and it's actually rechargeable. No AA battery hot swapping. Additionally, it's much lighter than the Basilisk, coming in at 80 grams, and has a combination of both optical and mechanical switches as opposed to just mechanical. But while some of these things I've listed may or may not be an advantage, depending on your preferences, this next thing is definitely a deal breaker for me and many people. It's high click latency. Additionally, for me, I didn't want an ambidextrous mouse, so thankfully Roccat has a non-ambidextrous mouse, the Roccat Kone Pro Air. Its MSRP is $79.99, but you can pick up one right now at Amazon for $49.72 USD. Now, despite being a non-ambidextrous wireless mouse at a similar price point, it has some major differences as well, namely, no sniper button, which I dislike, and it's a whole lot lighter than any of the other mice we've seen so far, at 72 grams. Its click latency is also actually just fine, so at its price point, if you like how it looks, I don't like it as much as how the Razer looks, honestly, and you're fine with no sniper button, I'd gladly pick it up for 49 bucks. It really is a good deal that gives the Razer Basilisk a run for its money. Another mouse I looked into was the Logitech G703 Lightspeed, due to it being the only Logitech mouse I could find that was right-handed and wireless while still being in the vague price point of the Razer. And whilst the MSRP is $99.99, it seems to routinely go on sale on Amazon for about the same price as the MSRP of the Razer. But this mouse also has some major differences. 1, it doesn't have a sniper button. 2, there's nowhere to store your wireless receiver, a huge deal breaker. And its weight is fairly similar, although you can make it about 10 kilograms lighter by removing its 10 kilogram weight. The last mouse I looked into was the Corsair Ironclaw RGB wireless, but this thing definitely has some major disadvantages. Not only is it $10 more expensive, it doesn't have a place to store its wireless receiver, it's significantly heavier than the Razer somehow, has mechanical switches just like the Razer, but that's not to say it has no advantages. It has a remarkably low click latency, and 10 buttons to Razer's 7. Anyways, out of this lineup, the only two mice I'd ever seriously consider would be the Roccat Kone Pro Air and the Razer V3 X Hyperspeed, the mouse I ended up getting. Anyways, I hope I was able to help you make a purchase decision, so thanks for watching. I hope to see you all in the next video or stream. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, any suggestions, or anything else, and bye!